Hey VC, this is going to be a response video to MeanMr Mayo's video about the documentary called Vinyl by Alan Zweig. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. I watched Mayo's video about 2 weeks ago and just finished watching it before turning the camera on. Just kind of remind myself of what was mentioned there. And I watched the documentary about 2 weeks ago. Made a video actually last week, a little over a week ago, and decided not to use it. I don't even think I'm gonna watch it again. But hopefully I'll remember some of those points, because I think I made some good points in that. And I'm gonna share some of myself in this. So this is going to be a different video than normal, no vinyl here, but definitely talking about collecting and talking about why do I do this, and why don't I do other things, those kind of things. So it's hard to look at the camera. I'll try and continue to do that. I also watched Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame's video right after I saw, actually I think I saw Brandon's video before I saw Mayo's, and was like, oh, what are we talking about here? And then after that I saw Wes's video, Supra Wes, sometime last week, and that kind of motivated me to make the first video, and now this is the second take. So sorry guys, you're not going to see the first one. Yeah, I don't think it was as organized as I wanted it to be anyway. First of all, I watched the documentary a little over 2 weeks ago for the first time. I may have watched 5 or 10 minutes of it 6 months ago, and saw that it was almost 2 hours long, and I didn't have the time. I didn't want to take the time to watch a video like that. I would have much rather watched, a 20 to 30 minute video of someone talking about the collections that they found. And so I went that route back then. But now with this discussion, I started watching this. And hey girl, how are you, baby? You interrupted me in the last video. Yeah, here, you want to sit on my lap? Sorry guys, there's not going to be any editing on this one. Yeah, alright, you'd be good. You're always good, I know. So yeah, real quick, the documentary, go. The documentary is about, not necessarily music collecting. It's not about vinyl collecting, though it's specifically, sorry, cat hairs, specifically is tied around those who do collect records. And it, as many have said before me, it's more of the darker obsession side of collecting, and really taking a look at the those who kind of go overboard with their collecting. Yeah, I think that's probably a good assessment. I don't want to explain. You can watch other people's videos about gaining a description of what the documentary is, or you can watch the documentary. It is available on YouTube at the moment. It's called Vinyl by Alan Zweig, Z-W-E-I-G, I believe. So the first thing that kind of came across was the shots, the editing, the way he was able to talk with the camera by looking in a small little mirror, kind of focusing himself on himself, not just the people that he was interviewing. And so he was an interviewee in this documentary as well, since he was also a collector. There was really one thing that really stood out to me, and I kind of got offensive and kind of defensive about it. I was offended and became defensive. I don't know how well Alan knew these people that he was interviewing. I don't know if they were good friends or if he just saw people on Craigslist and said, "Hey, I'd like to interview you about your collection," and just that was the first time. So I don't have these answers, but I want to say that he may not have had that relationship with a lot of these people, but I don't know that for certain. But what I found offensive was one question that he asked every single one of them, and that was essentially, why are you single? Like, why are you choosing this passion over seeking a relationship with a significant other? And it's kind of a loaded question, and kind of a lot to ask of someone that you just met, if that's the case. And it really kind of hit home with me, because I've had a tough time in my life with this. And so when I get that question asked, "Hey Brad, why are you single? Why are you 40 years old and why are you single?" I'm like, whoa, step back here. Let's learn about me. Let's not talk about that right now. But apparently some did, and a couple of them, I'm trying to remember, got defensive as well, and I think it was justified. Because I saw Alan asking a kind of a shotgun approach. And I don't know if it was because Alan was going through the same kind of difficulty. He was either trying to seek answers, or I don't know why he asked the question. But what Mayo was also referring to was kind of these standards that other people live up to and imply on other people, these set of norms. I think of the gentleman who fought cancer and had records everywhere, not on shelves, but just piled everywhere within his house. And if he didn't have records, he had CDs piled, and he had to move piles so that he wouldn't step on stuff to get up and out of bed every morning, and that took 15 minutes maybe to do that every single day. And how others state that isn't normal, or that you're being obsessive. I completely agree with Mayo about the obsessive habits that we all have, these obsessive things that we, these desires that we obsess over within our own lives. I think everyone has a vice like that in some way or another. It may not come out in collecting anything. It may be something completely different, or it may come up with that. It may be playing video games. It might be relationship with friends. I get that. I understand that. For me, I have an obsessive type of part of me, and I can divulge. I'm not going to get too much into this, but to explain why I'm single, and I think this is healthier for me. And what I'm doing is, record collecting. I know through life, and this is all the way back from like 7th or 8th grade, all the way through my master's degree. So I mean, we're talking 15 to 17 or 18 years, where for some reason or another, I never, I had friends that were girls, were women, but never went beyond that, that friendship, never asked that question. Probably had the ability to date several women. I've dated one person in my life, 40 years. And it was only 2 months. So, besides those 2 months, I am very comfortable living a single life. And I found in the relationships that I was in as friendship and everything, that if I had any desire to date them, like I would kind of obsess about them. Not necessarily in a hurtful, like not a hurtful way, not a scary way, but I would constantly kind of analyze what I was doing, like every little thing about like the conversation. I would analyze, well, what did she mean by that? What should I call her? Would that, would that undermine the relationship? Would that, all of these things were going through my head, and I wasn't able to turn it off. I had friends that just said, stop analyzing and just go for it. And I found myself gridlocked because I couldn't stop thinking. And I do a lot, I do that with a lot of things in life. I analyze, that's what I do. And I even did that with the 2-month relationship. After a month and a half or so, maybe a month, I met her parents, and we had this amazing day of sailing off on the west coast of Florida by some island. I don't know. I was just enthralled in the experience, and I remember walking on the beach with her dad, and was a little concerned with at the time technology was, I'm an IT guy, so technology was my hobby. Learning and buying and all of this stuff was my hobby. It was my passion. And he was an IT guy as well. And so as I'm walking down the beach talking with him, I'm like, hey, I don't want to do this IT stuff. Like, I don't want to read up on it. I don't want to buy it. I don't, like, your daughter is like all I want to be around. And I was concerned about that. And he said, don't worry, it'll normalize. You'll go back to your hobbies and everything will be fine. Well, it wasn't. A month later, we broke up, and it was, I want to say that it was I treated her in a godly way when we broke up, a wholly honoring way. But it was brutal, and it was brutal for me. It was devastating for me. It was my first relationship. And I didn't have, like, the one thing that I was passionate about with her was gone. It just disappeared from my life, and I wasn't passionate about technology. I couldn't be passionate about her. I even tried dating, and even in the dating afterwards, 5 or 6 months, I still wasn't passionate, and that wasn't attractive to that person. I know it. She asked me, what are you interested in? And I couldn't answer the question. And I'm like, there's something wrong. I'm always passionate about something, and I'm not right now. So I think it's healthy to be passionate about something. I think it's a great thing to be passionate about something. And even to be a little obsessed, or even mostly obsessed about something, as long as it isn't injuring someone and it's not putting you in danger, health-wise or money-wise, or I think it's a good thing. And why am I single? People think it's to protect myself. A lot of people think it's to protect myself protect myself from being hurt again. Sorry, I'm getting a little teary. This is a tough subject. I would say that it's really to try and keep a grasp on my obsession, because I can go crazy and with things, and a life without that analyzing at every moment. So it's wonderful. I've had 5 years of it, and 6 years of it almost, and I almost don't want to go back to dating. And yeah, so that's what struck me first with the movie. Spoke a little more than I wanted on that, but hey, it's okay. Maybe it'll help someone. Be passionate. Find something to be passionate about. Be a little obsessive over it. It's okay. It's all right. To me, I think that is the norm. And people throwing norms at you, it's their own norms. Don't let them do that to you. The second thing I want to point out is a little bit about Alan Zweig's life at the time of this shooting in 1995. And I hope he's in a better place. I've seen a couple of his later videos, which I think are 2 years old now, and he seems to be in a better place. I'm not 100% certain. They're like 4-minute snapshots of a man's life. So I don't know, but the snapshot that I saw in this documentary, I saw a man. First thing that comes to mind is feeding pizza to his dog, and I'm like, dude, that isn't very healthy for the dog. And then I find out that the dog has maybe a day to live. And I have pets. I mean, my pets are like my kids, and that I was like, okay, this man is hurting. And then he starts questioning why he doesn't go to the bar. Why is he out on a Friday? Why doesn't he go out on a Friday night, find someone, get drunk, have sex? Why is he listening to records? Why is he collecting stuff? This bag of crap that he mentions. My initial thoughts to that were, Alan, don't do that to yourself. Just don't do that to yourself. And I empathize with those words because, as I said, I've been single a very good percentage of my life, and have been through fits of depression based around being single. And I have found no happiness in that. Even talking with people, it never really relieved me. Found no relief in it whatsoever. And really, the only relief that I've found is when I change something about myself. It's okay to be saddened by your situation. This doesn't have to be just about being single. It could be just about anything. It's okay to be to mourn, to grieve. It's totally normal, but at some point, a change does need to happen, and happiness and joy do not find you. Happiness and joy need to be sought after, and if that takes changing a little bit of your lifestyle, maybe the friends that you hang out with, maybe people who are cynical all the time, who are depressed all the time, maybe being around someone who is joyful and loves life, maybe that could spark something new. If you don't find satisfaction in record collecting anymore, maybe it's time to take a break. Maybe it is something, maybe be obsessed about something else. I don't mean to laugh. But yeah, that's I think all I had to say about that too. I think of what Brandon said. Really, that the record collecting thing is kind of the redheaded stepchild collecting, and I completely agree with that. Record store day was just 2 days ago, and it made me upset. I saw a line. The store that I go to is popular. I got there at 5:45 in the morning. Didn't know they were opening up at 8. Thought that they were opening up at 10, so I thought I was going to be waiting in line for a really long time. But there were about 100 people in line before me. Our store is really good about getting stuff. I don't know how, but I guess they're really popular in the RSD community. And the line reaches probably 400. It goes around the block, around the corner of the block, not the entire block. That would just be insane. So the store is right next to a diner, and then it goes down a concrete wall to the street, and then around that concrete wall into a parking lot of a gas station, and then around the gas station to the street again, and the sidewalk, and then it goes down the sidewalk where there's houses and everything. So that's kind of the layout of the land, and so the line is blocking 2 businesses. The diner, last year I was accidentally standing in front of the door, and the owner of the diner opened up and said, blah, 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 this is our store, don't block the door type thing. And I'm like, oh, my bad. That's what the lines are for. That's what the lines are for on the sidewalk. I'm like, well, don't yell at me. I didn't know this. And so I probably won't go to that diner just for that situation. And they wonder why they might be struggling. And the gas station. So I was planted right in front of the gas station when I stood in line when I got to the line on Saturday morning, and the gas station opens at 7. So it's not even 6 yet. So a good hour comes by, and the woman who is opening the store, she may be Korean, she may be Chinese. I'm not 100% certain. Pulls up at 6:45, 15 minutes before the store opens. Has trouble finding a place to park. People are in their way, but they don't know that. And so the people move. She parks, and then she goes, unlocks the store. She brings out 4 iron chairs, and creates an aisleway right in front of the one door, and she says for us to stand on either side of the chairs. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm standing right there. I'll be there. And we make a joke. Hey, there's a divide. Sorry. See you guys later. When the store opens, and it's like 5 feet away. Literally the aisle is this. I could barely fit through this aisle. And the owner of the record store comes out and has 3 signs that, and I thought last year these signs were created by the gas station owner and those kind of things, but I had a lot of respect for the man that owns the store. I forget his name at the moment. He's not old. He's middle aged. He's about my age, maybe a little bit older, and kind of curmudgeon, kind of too cool for you. Kind of, hey man, I own a cool record store. I don't care about you. But other than one time, at sometimes he's fun to hang around, and I respect the guy. He does have a cool record store, and he's got these sheets of paper that say, "Hey, don't block the customer's entrance in," and so he's pasting them. He's taping them onto both of the 2 chairs that create the beginning of the aisle, and then on the doorpost of the door. And I'm like, hey, we should open up these aisles. So this is a long story to get my point across. So we opened up the aisles, and now we give the people like 10 feet to enter. And I did that for 2 reasons. Like, for one reason, I basically just wanted to show the store owner, hey, we care about your store. And there's this woman, this woman that came in to the gas station while we're standing there after it opens, and she drove a blue Honda Civic. I don't know, I pay attention to this stuff. She wearing a blue dress, you know, probably, you know, 5 feet tall, that kind of stuff. I walk into the store because I have to go to the bathroom, and so I go use the restroom, then I pick up some beef jerky and a Snickers bar because I'm hungry. And as I'm waiting in line, I'm hearing this woman driving the Civic. Can't you get them to leave? Like, this is your store. Why are they standing in front of it? And it broke my heart. And as the person left, she like misstarted her car or something like that and just drove off in anger. And I can only imagine that the gas station store owner and her kind of collaborated for a little bit, and then it was about doing business again and having to show a smile, because she was all smiles for me. And I just told her, I was like, hey, I hope today brings you a lot of good business and that we give you the respect you deserve. And because that's what I want for them. I'm tired of looking. I've only been in this for 3 years and 3 record store days, and I see the faces all the time, and I'm like, come on, you're obsessive about something. The football teams that you're obsessive about, like, everyone thinks that's normal. Why? Why is that normal? Why can't I be excited about a Coheed and Cambria album, or a Flaming Lips album, or David Bowie? Yeah, F their norms, man. F their norms. So yeah, the redhead stepchild thing I really see too, but yet, you know, I don't see records as being the only one. I could see that happening for comic book collectors standing in line for the comic book store to open. I can see that for iPhone users who want to buy the newest iPhone. Maybe not so much that. I don't know. This video's gone on far too long. Look forward to hearing some kickback. Looking forward to hearing some comments. I don't know if this video was helpful for anyone. If you want to talk about being single, that's cool too. It was definitely a part of that video. Yeah, I saw it as kind of the underlying epic. Thought it was more about why are you choosing a passion over something as significant as finding a significant other in your life. And I'm just like, well, why are you throwing your norms at me? Why are you throwing your norms at this person? He seems completely happy doing what he's doing. Why are you kind of throwing a wrench in that? So yeah, I don't know how to end this. Hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.